Hey everyone, ready to dive deep.
I'm always ready. Let's do it.
Awesome. So today we're taking a close look at Tesla's Q3 2024 update.
Really interesting stuff.
It is, right? And we've got this dense report here.
Packed with numbers.
Exactly, financials, operations, the whole 9 yards, but
And we're going to break it down.
that's right. Make it clear, see what's important, what really matters for all of us.
Absolutely.
So first off, gotta say, Tesla had a huge e-quarter.
They really did, like record-breaking
Right.
deliveries, more cars than ever before.
More than last quarter.
Yep, more than last quarter and way more than this time last year.
Wow, so that's gotta be good for business.
Oh yeah, definitely. In
Yeah.
fact, their revenue from regulatory credits, that was their second highest ever.
Regulatory credits, now what are those again?
Right, so basically, other car companies, they're still playing catch-up.
With the EV thing.
Exactly, got to meet those emission standards, and Tesla's way ahead.
Ah, I see. So they're actually kind of helping the competition in a way?
In a way, yeah, but it's a win-win for Tesla. They're pushing the whole industry forward while also making bank.
Smart, very smart. And all that it's happening while, well, the economy is a little uncertain, right?
You said it. EV market, not exactly booming everywhere.
But Tesla's still thriving.
They are.
Yeah.
Shows you just how strong their brand is, how much people want those cars.
Yeah. And one thing Tesla's always been big on, making EVs more affordable.
Absolutely. Their mission, right?
Exactly. And they took a big step in that direction this quarter.
Huge step. Their cost per vehicle, what they call COGS.
Cost of goods sold.
That's it. Dropped to, get this, $35,100.
Oh, that's the lowest ever, right?
Lowest they've ever seen. And you know what that means?
What's that?
We're getting closer and closer to EVs costing the same or even less than gas cars.
That's got to be the turning point, right? When EVs are just the obvious choice.
That's the dream. And to get there even faster, Tesla's announced they're releasing even more affordable models coming in early 2025.
Oh, wow. That's exciting. More affordable EVs.
Absolutely. And, affordability is one thing, but Tesla, they're also all in on AI.
Yeah, they're pushing the limits there.
Big time. This quarter, they boosted their AI training compute by like a massive 75%.
75%. Now, what does that even mean?
Basically, think of it like they're giving their full self-driving system a mega brain boost.
So FSD is going to be even smarter.
Way smarter. Learning faster, making better decisions.
Kind of reminds me of that Wii robot event. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, mind-blowing. Seeing those robots in action.
Like something out of a movie, right?
Yeah.
And all the progress they've made with FSD, those numbers were crazy.
Crazy. Over 2 billion miles driven on FSD.
Billion with a B.
With a B. And more than half of that's on their latest version, V12.
Wow, 2 billion miles? That's like a round trip to Pluto or something?
Something like that, yeah. And speaking of things that are out of this world, got to talk about the Cybertruck.
That thing's wild.
It is, and guess what? Even though they're just getting started with production.
Still early days.
Very early. But it's already the third best-selling EV in the U.S. this quarter.
No way. Already.
Yeah. And get this. They hit a positive gross margin on the Cybertruck for the first time.
So what does that mean, like in plain English?
It means they're making money on each Cybertruck they sell.
Ah, okay, so good sign for Tesla.
Very good sign. Shows there's huge demand, people love it.
And they're making a profit. That's the key.
Exactly. It can be interesting to see those sales numbers climb as they ramp up production.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of ramping up, we got to talk about Tesla's global expansion.
It's pretty amazing, right? Their Shanghai factory just hit a major milestone, 3 million vehicles produced.
3 million from just that one factory.
Yes, that one. And get this, they also exported their millionth car from Shanghai in September.
Seriously, it's like a car-making machine over there. And it's not just China, right? They're killing it in Europe, too.
Oh, yeah. Europe's loving the Model Y. It's actually the best-selling car overall in some countries.
Wow. So not just best-selling EV, but best-selling period.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the key here is Tesla's been really strategic.
How so?
Well, they're building factories all over the world, right?
Yeah, like a global network.
Exactly. That means they can adjust to different markets, keep shipping costs low, and get those cars to customers faster.
Smart move. Very smart. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Gotta talk about Tesla's energy business.
That's a whole other story, and it's booming.
Right. Powerwall, Megapack, all that.
Exactly. They hit a record gross margin in Q3 for their energy business, over 30%. And it's all thanks to, you guessed it, huge demand for Powerwall and Megapack.
Yeah, makes sense. People are really thinking about home energy storage these days.
Absolutely, especially with concerns about the grid,
Yeah.
reliability, all that.
For sure. And Powerwall deployments, those hit record highs for the second quarter in a row.
People are going solar. They want that backup power. It's a smart move.
And we can't forget about that stat from their Lathrop mega
Yeah,
factory.
yeah, that was wild. 200 megapacks produced in a single week.
200 in a week. That's insane.
It is. And you know what that tells us? Tesla's not just good at making cars. They've mastered the art of cranking out those giant batteries, too.
Yeah, it looks like they're ready to power the world.
Absolutely. But, as we've seen, Tesla's not content with just cars and batteries.
Always pushing further.
Always.
Yeah.
They've got their eyes on something even bigger. Robo-taxis and their next-gen platform.
Yeah, they gave us a peek into the future with that Cybercab and Robovan.
Right. No steering wheel, no pedals, pure autonomous driving.
It's like a sci-fi movie. And then there's that whole unboxed manufacturing strategy for the robotaxi.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
What is that exactly? Like, do they just ship it in a box?
Not quite. But it is a radical new approach to manufacturing.
So no more giant assembly lines.
Well, there will still be assembly lines, but the whole process is much more streamlined. The unboxed approach is all about cutting out unnecessary parts, complexity, both in the car itself and the way it's built.
I see. So simpler design, simpler process.
Exactly. And that means, potentially, lower costs, faster production, and even less waste.
So it's not just about making a cool robotaxi, it's about making it in a cool way.
Precisely. It's about rethinking the whole process from the ground up.
I like that. Innovation isn't just about the product, it's about how you make it too.
Absolutely. And then there's the next generation platform itself. They're estimating you'll get, wait for it, 5.5 miles per kilowatt hour.
5.5. That's got to be their most efficient powertrain ever, right?
It is. Leaves the competition in the dust, that's for sure.
Wow, Tesla's really thinking long term here.
Definitely. They're not just focused on today's market, they're building for the future.
Okay, so we've covered a lot, from record sales to AI-powered cars to a glimpse into the future of transportation. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, let's see what Tesla's saying about what's next.
All right, so despite, the economy being a bit shaky, Tesla's still optimistic. They're actually predicting a little bit of growth in vehicle deliveries in 2024.
A little bit, so they're being cautious.
I think so, yeah. But they're also expecting their energy storage deployments to more than double.
Whoa, that's huge. So they see big things happening on the energy side.
Absolutely. They also made it clear that they're committed to expanding their product lineup, keep pouring money into AI research, and staying financially strong.
Sounds like they've got a solid plan in place.
They definitely do. But hold on, we've only scratched the surface here. There's still so much more to uncover in Tesla's Q3 2024 update.
I know, right? I can't wait to dive deeper.
Well, get ready, because in the next part of our deep dive, we're going to take a closer look at Tesla's strategic moves and really analyze how they're approaching growth and innovation. You won't want to miss it.
Stay back again for more Tesla talk. Ready to keep digging.
Always. Where do we leave off? Oh yeah, Tesla's looking towards the future, definitely in growth mode.
Right. But they're being smart about it, seems like.
Yeah, not just growth for growth's sake. They're being strategic, especially with the economy being a little, exactly. Remember they said slight growth in vehicle deliveries for next year. That's on purpose.
So it's not just about selling as many cars as they can right now.
Nope, there's a bigger game plan.
Okay, so break it down for me.
Sure, so think of it like this. There's these two big waves of growth for Tesla.
Okay, I'm listening.
First wave, that was all about making EVs mainstream, the Model 3 and Model Y.
And they did that big time.
Huge success.
Yeah.
But now there's a second wave coming.
Even bigger.
Could be. This one's all about autonomy really taking off and those new products we talked about, the Cybercab, the Robovan, all that.
Right. Those futuristic vehicles built for a world where cars drive themselves.
Yep. And they'll be using that super efficient next-gen platform.
So Tesla's playing it smart, holding back a little on the growth now to be ready for this next wave.
Exactly. They want to be in the perfect spot to lead both the EV revolution and the self-driving revolution.
It's like they're saying we're not just going to be big, we're going to be the best.
Totally.
Yeah.
And let's not forget their commitment to sustainability. They're always thinking about that.
Yeah, they showed that chart comparing lifetime emissions of a gas car versus a robotaxi.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty stark, the difference.
The robotaxi, way lower emissions over its entire life.
Right. From building it to driving it, much smaller impact.
Shows you Tesla's vision, transportation that's not just electric, but super efficient, good for the planet.
For sure. Now, gotta ask you more about this unboxed manufacturing for the robotaxi.
It's a head scratcher, right? What does it even mean?
I know, it's like they're throwing out the old rule book for how cars are made.
So no more SMD lines.
Well, there'll still be assembly lines, but think less is more, way simpler.
Okay, so how does that work?
The unboxed idea is get rid of anything extra in the design and the process, make it super streamlined.
Ah, so less complexity, less waste.
Right. More efficient, faster production, and that could
The
mean
cheaper cars.
potentially, yeah.
Oh,
And they can get those rover taxis on the road faster too.
makes sense. Okay, gotta talk money now. Tesla's financials, they seem pretty solid, right?
Rock solid. They keep talking about their balance sheet. It's like their financial report card, and they're getting straight A's.
So what does that mean for, regular people? Why should we care?
Good question. Basically, it means Tesla's in a really strong position. They have a ton of cash, not a lot of debt, and they're making good profits.
So no worries about them going bankrupt anytime soon.
Zero worries. This financial strength gives them the power to, invest in crazy new ideas, build factories, and handle any bumps in the road, economically speaking.
It's like they've got a really solid foundation to build on.
Exactly. It's a sign of a well-run company with a long-term vision. And speaking of long-term, they mentioned this shift from mainly hardware profits, selling cars and energy stuff, to more software and fleet profits later on.
So they're not just thinking about selling individual cars, they're thinking about a whole network.
Yeah, a transportation network powered by software and autonomous vehicles.
It's a big change from, the traditional car business where you buy a car and that's it.
Big change. Tesla's building a whole ecosystem.
And that ecosystem, it could disrupt a lot of things, not just cars.
Right. Energy, even robotics. Who knows what else?
Speaking of robots, can't forget Optimus. Those videos from the We Robot event were amazing.
I know, right? The dancing, those new hands, it's incredible how far they've come.
Yeah, and they're just getting started with robots.
Exactly. It shows how ambitious Tesla is, not just changing cars, but maybe changing how we work, how we live with robots.
Okay, I'm sold. Sign me up for a robot butler.
Uh-huh, right.
Yeah.
But seriously, think about it. Robots could help with all sorts of things. Labor shortages, making things more efficient, more sustainable.
It's a whole new world of possibilities. One last thing before we move on. Those more affordable Tesla models, any hints on what those will be like?
They're being pretty secretive about the details, but they did say these new models will use parts from both the next-gen platform and their current ones.
Interesting. So kind of a mix and match approach.
Yeah, smart move. It means they can build them on the same lines as their existing cars.
Ah, so they can ramp up production faster without having to build whole new factories.
Exactly. Balance innovation with efficiency. That's the key.
Seems like Tesla's always one step ahead.
They're definitely playing the long game, that's for sure.
Well said. Okay, we've covered a lot, but there's still more to come.
You bet. In the last part of our deep dive, we're going to zoom in on the numbers, really dissect Tesla's financials, see what their growth trajectory looks like.
The grand finale, a numbers extravaganza.
You got it. Get those calculators ready.
All right, final round. Time to get into the nitty-gritty, the numbers, the financials, all that fun stuff.
Let's do it. Unpack those spreadsheets, see what Tesla's Q3 really looked like.
All right, so first up, revenue. The big question, how much money did they make?
Total revenue, drum roll please,
Yeah.
$25.2 billion.
$25.2 billion. Okay, not too shabby.
Not at all. And that's up 8% from last year. Same time.
Solid growth. So
Yeah.
what's driving that? Is it all those record car sales we talked about?
Car sales, definitely a big chunk, but there's more to it.
Like what?
Well, their energy business, the Powerwall, Megapack, all that grew a lot too.
Right, right. And those services like the supercharging network.
Yep, all contributing. And we can't forget those regulatory credits brought in almost $740 million this quarter.
Wow, so Tesla's really making money from all angles, huh?
They are. Smart business, gotta give them that. Okay, now, the real juicy stuff, profitability.
All right, hit me with the numbers.
So their operating income, GAAP, came in at $2.7 billion for Q3.
Okay, and in plain English, what does that mean?
It means they're making a healthy profit, about 10.8% operating margin.
Operating margin, refresh my memory, what's that again?
Sure, it's basically how much profit they make for every dollar of revenue.
Got it, so higher is better, right?
Exactly. And their margin this quarter, way up from last year, so they're getting more efficient.
Okay, so what's their secret? How are they doing this?
Well, they're obsessed with cutting costs, making everything leaner.
Like,
They've gotten better deals on materials, streamlined their shipping, always tweaking their factory.
so squeezing out every bit of waste.
Exactly. Plus, remember that super low cost per vehicle we talked about. That's translating into higher profits directly.
Right, right. And it's not just about saving money. They're also making more from FSD.
Yep. FSD on the Cybertruck launched this quarter, bringing in some nice revenue there.
Smart moves all around. But it's cool that they're still investing in the future, even while they're being so efficient.
Exactly. R&D, new tech, expanding globally, it all costs money, but it pays off in the long
That's
run.
the long game, right.
Uh,
Okay, let's talk about, what was it, free cash flow?
yes, the money they have left over after all the bills are paid for new projects, dividends, the good stuff.
So basically, financial freedom.
You got it. And Tesla, they had a ton of free cash flow this quarter, $2.7 billion, up over 200% from last year.
Wow, they're like a cash-generating machine.
They really are. Healthy sign, shows they're managing things well.
Okay, and their balance sheet, what's the latest there?
Still strong, rock solid. Ended Q3 with over $33 billion in cash and investments. Debt's manageable, and they keep generating more cash.
Sounds like they're in a great spot, ready for anything.
Absolutely. They have the financial power to keep pushing forward no matter what the economy throws at them.
All right, so, big picture. What's the takeaway from all this Tesla talk?
Tesla's on a roll. They're not just leading the EV charge, they're pushing the limits in AI, self-driving, and clean energy.
And they're doing it all while being super efficient, making good money.
Right. They have a clear plan for the future. It's exciting to see what they do next.
It really is. They're a company to watch, that's for sure. Well, this has been an amazing deep dive into Tesla's Q3. Learned a ton.
Me too.
Okay.
Always fascinating to peel back the layers, see what's really going on.
But before we go, gotta leave everyone with something to think about. What's the big question we should all be asking after this?
Good question. I think it's this. How will Tesla's advances in AI and robotics, not just in cars, but with Optimus and all that, how will that change things? Transportation, energy, even just how we live our lives.
Wow, that's a big one. Lots to ponder there.
Definitely. It's not just about technology. It's about how that technology shapes our world.
So true. Well, on that note, thanks for joining us on this Tesla journey. Until next time.